Hi, second graders. I'm back. Alright, I have an example of a finished circle loom with tempera painted concentric circles. And I'm going to be painting this for you now, if my camera lasts. I already painted one, this one, and it didn't film it all the way through, so I'm starting again for you, so I have extra practice. Alright, so first thing you have to do, though, before we get started is, like we always do, what do we do with artworks? Name on the back. Always a good idea, include your room number. So, I am Miss Cooper, and my room in the art room is room 109. So you're not going to put my name or my room number, but you're going to put your name and your classroom number on there, okay? So, let's get started. I have chosen to use 4 different colors on our palette, so I'm going to show you those, which were the ones that we used on the last painting. And it turned out that when you put the yellow and the blue next to each other, you get green, and you put blue and red together, you get purple. So even though I have 4 colors, I ended up with a few extra colors on there. So that's what we're going to do. Same thing on here. I'm going to do the same order so we get some of the same colors. You're also going to get a set of brushes, 4 different brushes. So each of the brushes belongs to a color of paint. So you do not have your own brushes. The paint has the brush. Okay, so we're all lined up here. Just want to make sure we're not going to cut this off. So I'm going to have brushes out here. We're going to start in the center with orange. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to get my orange tempera paint. And these paper plates are so wonderful to paint on. They're just about like painting on really good art paper. The one thing is they just soak up the paint so fast, which is a good thing. But because of that, we have to do our paint twice. Sometimes we have to do that anyway. But this is tempera paint. It's unlike watercolor, which we're used to using, because you don't have to mix any water. They're already mixed in. So, we don't need any water. So I did my orange. Now I'm going to go to yellow. And I always recommend that when you switch colors on these concentric circles that you want to keep the first row, or the first time you're painting that second or third or fourth color, you want to leave a little white space, because we're going to try and keep those paints clean until we do what's called blending. And then we'll have to either get some extra brushes out, or you can probably clean or share those brushes with your friends. So I'm going to paint out here some yellow. And that's my second concentric circle. Alright, and I'm going to go fairly fast on this. You won't be going as fast as me. I've been doing this for a while. This is your first time, so don't you expect to go as fast as me, okay? Alright, so I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm going to now come up and touch my orange. If I wanted to, I'm going to keep my brush kind of spinning around. I'm not going to pick my brush up, just kind of go around and around and around and around. And then those colors will touch each other. This is actually kind of cool the way it blends. It's called mixing a color is blending it. So I'm done. And now I'm going to go to, I just want to touch that little streak up there, because I'm a little perfectionist, of course. So I'm going to put my brush back. If somebody else were going to be using this brush, you would want to make sure that it was put away really clean. Or if you got a lot of color on there, we need to get you a new brush, okay? So don't worry about that. We can handle it. Alright, so our next color is going to be blue. I'm going to get my brush. And once again, we're going to paint blue, not touching. So we want to leave a little bit of space, because we don't want to get our brush mixing with that other color, that yellow, right away. Then we have to clean our brushes more often. So, go all the way around. And the brushes that I'm using, I have these are my own brushes at home, because I'm making this video at home. The ones at school are fairly similar. They may not have the same colored handles, so don't think that you're getting a different brush. Mine are just sort of an assortment of different brushes that I've used over the years on my own paintings, so I just grabbed a bunch of those from my studio to do this. I love painting with tempera paint. It's so smooth and it doesn't even smell half bad. Unless this has been open for a while, but these are brand new. You're going to be using brand new colors. Okay, so I'm out to the edge now. So I want to make sure I have paint on the edge of that blue as well. And you can see I have a couple of little dots on my yellow, which is okay. I might just leave those there for now, because I can always cover those later with a pattern if I want. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to touch the yellow this time with my brush. And I need to get up a little bit higher to do this, so I'm almost over top of my circle loom. It gives me a little more control over my brush as I go around and overlap those two colors. So don't worry if you are having trouble doing this. You don't have to go on to those colors or overlap those colors too much, just so they touch, okay? And I'm going to catch that right there. Looks like there, ran out of paint. Just going to get that little bit of green on there. Or create that green on there too. I'm just going to move it down here so I have a couple of spots that are harder for me to get to. There. So I'm on the floor on my knees. You're going to be standing or you're going to be sitting. Okay, so there's my extra color of green that I created with yellow and blue. Now I'm going to switch to pink. And I'm going to finish off my weaving with pink. Maybe I'll take this blue up a little bit higher. Alright? Otherwise, we're going to have way overload on the pink. And I got lots of blue paint here. So I'm going to actually take it right up to the rim. Or up to that first bump on the rim. You'll get it when you see your own plate. This way I can get a little more paint on here. And then I'm going to put the pink up on the top, overlapping the blue a little bit to get that purple, nice purple in there. I hope you can hear me because I'm a little ways away from the camera. I think I could probably adjust the sound after we get these on the computers. But for now, I'm forgetting that you're not right in front of me, and then I'm videotaping this. So I hope it's coming through loud and clear. There, I'm going to finish that off a bit there. Okay, now I'm going to switch back to my pink. And I'm going to start like I usually do. I might have to tilt it a bit to get in this groove here. So start with that. Get it right up to the edge as close as I can. You'll probably notice too that when you load your brush up with paint and then you put your brush down and drag it, you actually form a line. It's kind of a cool thing that brushes will just do the job for you. You just press and drag and then you get a nice clean line. So you load up with paint, press, drag. I am going to go over that a little bit because I missed. And I'm going to clean my brush because I got into that blue. And I'm going to go over here, load it up with paint, not so strippy paint, but just enough to have your brush full of paint. Come back over, press it, and drag it. That one had a little too much paint on it. Alright, all the way to the end probably. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to go back and finish off those edges, because you do want to get right out to the edge, because it will, the white will show up quite a bit unless you go over the edge. You might even get your fingers pink or painty when you're doing this last row. I always start from the inside and then go out, because otherwise then your hands are always stuck in paint. Maybe you start on the outside and go in. So kind of learned that one by doing the opposite. So always learning, always a lesson to be learned. Alright, so now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go all the way around that edge again where my blue is. I might have to tip it a little. Move it so I have a better grab on this. All the way around. Maybe go over that again because I missed some. Okay, so we're getting some pretty colors here. I'm going to tip it a little because that groove's hard to get into. There. So, I'm making some purple. Making some headway with that purple. Just realized I haven't heard from my camera lately. I hope it's working. I had to change the batteries because they ran out, so that's why I had to start all over again. Anyway, there you go. Concentric circles. Okay, now what I'm going to show you next is a little bit of cleanup. And we are going to be cleaning up by collecting the brushes. So one of your friends at the table will be in charge of brushes. Each one of you will be bringing your own circle weaving plate to me at the drying rack, and you all know where the drying rack is. I'm in charge of, you know, putting it on the drying rack and flipping those trays down, but just remember, nobody touches it because we can actually have an accident where the plates all go off the back. So here's your paint, and another friend at your table will be in charge of paint. You can divide this up. Maybe, you know, next time the other two people who don't have a job can do it, because it's really a two-person job right now. And then you close this up and you take it over and put this in the trash. Now I'm going to be using this again to do the pattern on another of your looms, so I'm just going to push it back. I'm going to wash these brushes because we will be using smaller brushes. So I'm going to set those aside. So that's how we're going to be painting our concentric circles using tempera paint and brushes.